for like a paddle. One today.
I didn't know. I asked the guy for like just a normal one. I knew I needed. I mean, the sentence first.
Yeah, well, that's why.
They had it before.
That's why you go with me. Because I know what I'm doing.
So you have that here?
I go there every day.
Well, they have it over here. But no, maybe they won't want to see me anymore because I'll be working. When I no one give me a deal when I'm working 70 hours a week.
I'm always here. I'm always here.
Did this place offer the deal?
It's just a drive lunch.
I think we can have a burger. You know what I mean?
I like to keep my butt. I like to eat the half.
What your butt?
I like to keep it. I like to keep the butt.
Put it on the big pizza.
All right, all right, all right.
How's that? All right, all right, all right. I can't eat. I only have one stomach every hour. What's the deal with the guacamole? Tell me, oh, it's avocado, edamame puree. Sounds like a soy thing. It's just that I for a soy thing, I got like sick. I'll do it. That's nice. I don't want to be on the broadcast. I don't want to be on TV. Oh, he's pretty tough. I mean, I like them. I like them. Good.
Yeah. He's facing. He's pointing here. He's going to talk about rums and talk about this place. Kristen. Kristen.
I gotta go online. You know my face?
Yes. Follow, subscribe. Right, yes.
Don't worry about the goodness between your teeth.
Yes. Don't worry.
I don't know, like
So.
elbow.
Hey all, hey all, hey all. So yes, we are live. So yes, the backdrop has changed. You see behind me, I am not in our normal location here. So thank you for tuning in here. We've got our live biggest happy hour and a half an hour here. So our good friend John, he's the bar manager. Let's grab him on here real quick here. Hopefully everyone's got enough drinks. You know, he's manning the station here. So there he is. So how you doing, John?
Good, man. How are you this evening?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So yeah, so we are here at Cana Bar and Grill in downtown Lake Worth area. So thank you for inviting me down here
Anytime.
for our May the 4th be with you, right? So I already had enjoyed one of our signature cocktails tonight.
The
And
Obi-Wan Mojito.
the
Obi-Wan Mojito.
That's right, the Obi-Wan Mojito. Look at that. So, well, look at that. It's gone. So I think I need another one. But you got a couple other
I got
drinks.
a couple others. I can throw together the Sith Southside for you real quick.
There we go. All right. So while John's working on that, we're going to go ahead and just say hello to everybody here who's for tuning in here. So again, thank you for checking us out here. Again, as you guys know, as dangerous these things can be, live without a net, we can be jumping into who knows what's going on. And again, also, I have a very small production crew. It's me. So again, I do all this stuff by myself, and then and I have to host and drink and do all these things, keep people entertained. So it is tough. So thank you for hanging out there. Thank you for bearing with me here on us and on the happy hour here tonight. So again, I had a chance to come down to a local establishment. Again, as you guys know, I really love the attempt or the efforts to promote local, promote business, promote places that are working out. And again, this was a whole thing that was stemmed from the pandemic, to love to hear businesses made it through the pandemic. So again, this is a local place here in downtown Lake Worth. So if you're not familiar with Lake Worth, it is just a little south of West Palm Beach, a little north of Fort Lauderdale, the Boca area here. So a little bit, mid-county, if you want to call it, in the Palm Beach County area. Again, it's a great place here. We're going to talk to hopefully the owner, Joe, here in a little bit. You've already met John. He's the bar manager. Again, we met him through a lot of the various things that we've been working with here here in the local area, the West Palm area, the spirits business here, bars, etc. So met him through Mario, as y'all know, and you've met Mario many times here. Mario, president of House of Wine, Beer, and Spirits there. So again, great thanks to shout out there. Again, we're trying to build something here. We're trying to build all this together. It's all about, look, we people enjoy going out. People, again, I guess those that are extroverts, right? Again, introverts mostly want to sit at home and drink. But if you're an introvert, right, or extrovert, you want to go out here and hang out. You want to have a good time. You want to hear some music. You want to meet people. I don't know, maybe you're trying to pick up chicks or guys or whatever your flavor is. But yeah, that's what we're all about here. Again, also too is the rums. Again, a big shout out here to some of the rum brands here. So they are developing their rum program here. They're trying to look to expand. So I was like, hey, let me bring on some rums here. So we've got some rum here. You probably see in the camera there. So some just rum here. We got some of that here. This is the oak. So in the oak barrel here, we also got our good friends at Instill Distilling there, also there. So they're also a couple, podcast alums. Again, I talk about this a lot. Once you become part of the podcast, I feel indebted. It's a part of the family, part of the alum, right? Again, help to promote. We promote you, you promote us, and to try to get the word out there, right? I know it's sometimes awkward that I talk about maybe more than one brand, but look, 50%, more than 50% of the market is two big companies. And again, I'm trying to help everybody out here. So again, Instill Rums representing here. Tony and the guys over the Outer Banks there. Check out, follow them. They're building they're expanding, which is great to see. Their distillery expanding out there in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Can't wait to go back. I already told them that the other day. So this is their pecan rum. And then also just recently here we had Eric K of Holmes K here, so we brought some down here, so we're going to drink some rum. And then also, lastly, we have a little bit of Panamanian rum here. This is the Pedro Mandinga rum here. So again, aged 15 to 21 years there. So again, these are all of the brands here, the companies, people that have spent the time, and I appreciate it. And again, try to help grow, right, the rum world here by, sharing rum, right? That's what it's all about. Share your rum, right? And again, that's what all rum friends are, is about sharing your rum with other friends, other people, turning them on to new products and so forth. Just somebody else at the bar there, they were drinking margaritas, obviously, because tomorrow's a bigger day too, is Cinco de Mayo, right? This is when we all become Mexican for a day, just like we're all Irish for a day in March for St. Patty's Day. And I bought a drink for somebody. I said, here, why don't you have a Cuban margarita? So what's a Cuban margarita? Well, again, we were playing on words here, but John knew what I was talking about, and it was obviously the daiquiri, right? So they made some daiquiri here with a product here that's available. I won't mention, but again, who knows? Maybe one of the different brands that we've had on, we can make a connection. We can hopefully get expansion of the rum, selection here at the different places here in Florida. Who knows, right? So anyway, again, that's all about the education there and having a good time and talking to people. And again, you guys know me. I sometimes can't shut the fuck up. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in here tonight. Like I said, weather is great right now, so I don't know where you guys are all at. I can't complain. We did have a crazy tornado last weekend, which you probably saw all over the national news. We had crazy tornadoes here, flipping cars over and everything. But I'm okay. But again, I appreciate for all tuning in here tonight. So here, okay. So John just made. So I'm going to let him introduce this here. Okay, he's busy talking to this, good-looking blonde at the bar here. So maybe I'll just start talking about him here. Okay, this looks like a very serious. I want him to introduce this drink here. So again, I know maybe if you may see, I may be drinking a beverage, but again, you guys know this is the Happy Hour Show. We drink anything and everything on the Happy Hour Show. The Drums and Rums podcast is solely for drums, but we're gonna go and we'll get John here to come over here and talk about this cocktail here. So John, when you're ready, let's introduce this. You make that drink first. Chris, well, you want to come on? I have people that are like, they want to come on. They're half in, they're half out, right? So, yeah. Oh, she's drinking. Oh. That's our secret. Nobody will know. It's not like this is going on the internet. I'm a professional. That's called alcohol abuse. I'm getting harassed at the bar. What's up with that? So anyway, So again, we're hanging out here down at Cana Bar and Grill here. Like I said, this is a really cool place. It's an open air place. We'll try to get a chance to maybe turn the cameras around a little bit just so you can see. It's a really large place. You can hopefully see in the background here from where I'm at. They've got a large space here. Looks like they can do some dancing in here. They've got a band probably for tomorrow here. Again, it's Cinco de Mayo, so they're going to have some music tomorrow, and that's going to be a huge bar day. So bar days, right? St. Patty's Day, Cinco de Mayo. So again, if you're in the West Palm area, come on down and hang out here. Get some, different type of Latin style type of music. Latin food, right? Let's just kind of hang out here and come support, right? These are really, really great, cool people. So again, here, thanks. I appreciate for John Hasbrook there. Thanks to John there. So yeah, for tuning in there. So yeah, we got some rum we're gonna try here. Sean, thanks for tuning in also there. So some of our regulars there, I appreciate you all for tuning in there. So again, real quickly, then if you want to support the podcast and all the stuff that we do here, we do have a Patreon set up or a Cash App link there. I think it's in the comments there. You click on it. Again, become a Patreon member because I've been posting a lot of stuff over on Patreon lately. Actually posted some content that I've been talking about for a while with my good friend Brad Brock, that we've been doing a review show, a booze review show, and we've had a very play on words. We've actually finished up a couple of segments there. We posted it. So again, the Patreon members, they've actually got a chance to see the video before we go ahead and release it to a larger audience. So again, that's come to some. I'm trying to kind of give you guys some content there that you want, that you see a little bit more inside of what I do, who I am, etc. So again, that helps support the podcast. That helps support the bingo shows. Obviously, when we send out the prizes, and again, I thank all the brands that support that too by providing some swag and some giveaways. Again, so I appreciate those. And again, that just helps. I just pass along, shirts and hats and etc. to you all, and it helps cover the shipping, obviously, right? So again, And that's all. It's not a big deal. I'm not trying to beg for money, but I'm just trying to throw it out there. So again, Patreon, drumsandrums.com, or Drums and Rums is the Patreon page and so forth. So here, let me try to see if I can read this here. I know it's a little dark here. Sounds good. Gonna need to hear the ingredients. The Sith South Side. Okay, all right, Sean. We're gonna try to get. John's working again. He's working. He's behind a full bar here. He's making a couple of the drinks here. So we're going to go ahead and maybe we'll talk to a few people here. Again, we're also going to talk to John. We're going to try some of these rums that I brought with me here too, to get their thoughts on it. And then again, also the owner here, Joe. We'll hopefully maybe we'll get him on and talk about his establishment and kind of give a little background, his history, his vision, his dream, etc. But yeah, the Lake Worth area is really jumping here. It's great to that now that we're past COVID. People are getting out there, enjoying and having a good time. Again, Florida this time of the year is great. It's not too hot to sit outside. It's enjoying it. It's beautiful to be here. As we say here, we're living in paradise here. So we're gonna get that shown here in a minute. Here, we're gonna get. I haven't tried it yet because I want John to go through here. I am gonna finish a little bit of my Obi-Wan Kenobi mojito. I will tell you this, that the Obi-Wan is made with Florida Cana. I do believe, Sean, that is their main rum in the well here in their section. So, again, hey, who knows? Maybe Just Rum, John, if you're still listening, Just Rum, maybe you guys become the new well. I know you're a little bit more than just the well. Maybe somewhere up on the shelf here. That, again, it's my way to help grow, expand, expose, whatever you want to call it, the different alums that we've had on, appreciation for those who've supported me, to help support you, right? So, and so we'll go through. So you know what? So while we're waiting for him to come on over here, what we're going to do is we're going to go through here. We're going to, now, again, some of you who have been followers and listeners of the podcast here for quite some time, so I'm going to just forgive me if you've heard this story already, but this is going to be a Florida man story that I did talk about last year. But you know what? I think it's very difficult. This Florida man story is very niche in the sense because of the two topics. When you Google search for it, as obviously Florida man and Star Wars, right? And it's just as almost much as niche as I don't think you can get any more niche as a podcast or content as Drums and Rums. But we're going to read the story here. I know, like I said, if you've been a follower of the podcast, yes, it's a recycled Florida man story, but here we go. We're going to go ahead and talk about the Florida man allegedly poses as a Disney employee to steal $10,000 Star Wars R2-D2 replica. All right, so here we go. A Florida man allegedly posed as a Disney World employee and stole a $10,000 replica of the Star Wars character R2-D2. In a bizarre attempt, you know what? He probably, if that was a real robot that they actually had in Star Wars back in the late 70s, R2-D2 probably was worth $10,000. You think about it now today, it'd probably be a lot more, a lot better processors. But anyway, R2-D2 is pretty cool. So, all right, so the character R2-D2, in the bizarre attempt to get hired as a security. Now, this is a very elaborate story. Hired as a security guard, according to the police who arrested him. David Emerson Proudfoot, 44 of Kissimmee, is accused of sporting a bogus name tag and vest. See, that's all you need is a name tag to show that you're important. And in order to slip into the Disney World Swan Hotel. Now, if you're not familiar with the Disney World Resort there, it's a big complex. Obviously, if you've been to Disney, you know how massive and all the different parks are. The Swan Hotel is one of the more upper-end hotels that they have on the property there. So it is a little bit of hoity-toity. So, all right, anyway. So the Swan Hotel, and swiped the famous droid. According to the arrest affidavit, Proudfoot, who was arrested for the grand theft on Monday, also snatched a game machine from the hotel. Man, you couldn't get just a robot? You got to take more? Proudfoot allegedly told cops he took the cosmetically cool robot likeness to show weakness in the security of the resort after applying to be a guard at Disney. Okay, check that shit out. This guy is trying to flip the script and saying, "No, I did this because I was wanting to show you how shitty you guys are on your whole security aspect, right?" So that's actually a pretty slick move. All right. Again, I don't think anybody bought it though, but police were first called to the hotel on May 31st. And again, this is a couple years ago. After actual security guards reported seeing Proudfoot pushing a large cart and appearing confused, according to the affidavit posted in full by lawandcrime.com. He was allegedly sporting a high visibility orange work vest and a Disney World employee issued name tag with David written on it. Shit, you can buy those things at the fucking gift shop, right? All right, so, okay. Cops later searched Proudfoot's home and found thousands of dollars worth of items that had been swiped from the Disney World, including light fixtures, a wooden towel cabinet, and a gold necklace. What kind of eclectic shit is that? Proudfoot had been held on bond for $9,650. That's a really odd number. Why don't you just round it up to 10,000? It's called 10, even 10, right? So, yeah. So there you go. So that is our Proudfoot there, Mr. Proudfoot. There's our Florida man with our Star Wars connection there. So good job stealing and also getting arrested. That was last year, actually. So, yes, it was about a year ago this all happened. So, yes. So good job there, buddy, for tuning in there and stealing something and then ultimately getting busted for you, because I'm not quite sure if we really bought the fact that you really wanted the robot, or you're really trying to prove that you were trying to show the lack of securityness in the area there. So, again, like I said, I apologize. Hopefully you enjoyed that segment there of the story there of the Florida man story, and we had going through here. So, anyway, so that's our Florida man story here. So, I don't know if you're those of you that are in the chat there. Tell me who's your favorite Star Wars character, right? So we'll go. Maybe we'll play a little bit with that there. We'll go there and see what we get as far as a Star Wars character. And who's your favorite? Do you like the old Star Wars? Do you like the new Star Wars? Do you like the TV show? So all right. So you got a second, John? Because yeah, sure, okay, yeah, sure, real quick here. So, all right here. Yeah, oh yeah, you got to. This is all we're all professional here, right?
Oh boy.
So there was a question asking about what's in the drink here that you made.
So the Sith side, south side is going to be Florida Cana spiced rum, a little bit of our house-made honey ginger syrup, watermelon juice, and a little bit of our filthy cherry juice. That's really interesting. Watermelon juice. So it's just the we
juice?
puree watermelons in the back.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. Sith South Side.
Enjoy.
That's pretty refreshing,
right?
And I do get to the watermelon on the back there, and that's really good, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so definitely there. So there you go, Sean. You got the rest. You got the ingredients there. So I know Sean's busy again. He's a working bartender here tonight.
Hey.
Here. So he's holding down the fort here, keeping us lubricated or hydrated or whatever the term may be. So there you go. The Sith South Side, the Sith cocktail here. And again, we're hanging out here. We appreciate the folks here at Cana Bar and Grill for letting us come down here and take over the corner of the bar here and talk to you guys here, getting out of the studio and being live on location. Again, promote local businesses, promote local rums, promote local people, and just having a great old time about it, right? So again, we're like I said, going through here. We're just trying to catch up here, having a little fun here tonight here, since this is Star Wars here. So again, interested in there. Old school going with Luke. So Sean says he's old school going to Luke. All right. Tonight, all right. So you got the recipe there again. So John is really, when we were chatting, we met up. I came down here a couple months ago to meet up with John. He invited me down here to hang out and try a couple of the cocktails, a couple daiquiris. As we all know, that's one of the most difficult drinks to make as far as in the rum world things, right? To make those perfect levels of the rum. Yeah, so we came down. We're like, hey, let's do some more stuff. So maybe this is not just going to be the first time. We're going to maybe shooting some live stuff here from Cana. Again, I haven't even touched upon the food, right? Because again, this is also a restaurant too. So you can see behind me there. This is a whole big open area here. So come on down. Again, a lot of people may be a little shy tonight because they're trying to pace themselves for tomorrow since Cinco de Mayo is on a Friday. That can be dangerous. So let's talk real quick about that. I know tonight we're supposed to be talking about Star Wars and May the 4th be with you and all that. But let's talk about Cinco de Mayo. Again, real quick here. Just be careful, guys. Tomorrow's going to be a pretty crazy day. Is what they call like a New Year's Eve sometimes as amateur hour. Just be careful, okay? Just Uber. Be careful. Mind yourselves. If you're single girls that are going out there, just be careful. Again, it can be a real crazy night. There's going to be lots of drink specials, lots of high alcohol, sweet stuff. It's going to really have a problem. So I guess then Saturday, unfortunately, probably a lot of people will be probably sitting at home hungover and not a whole lot of activity going on here. So again, hey, that might make it better. There'll be less people on the beach for me on Saturday. So again, that's the day we all become Mexican just as much as St. Patty's Day when we all become Irish, right? So, again, we'll go from there. So Sean was saying old school Star Wars here. So we'll ask a few other folks here, see what their thoughts are. Are they old school or new school there? So, all right, we'll say. All right, so. All right, old school Star Wars or new school Star Wars? Old school. All right, we got an old school. Okay, we got a vote for old school. Oh, we got New Republic. No, I think he meant One Republic. Wasn't that the band? One Republic, the boy band? Old. Old school. So, favorite Star Wars character? He's on the spot now here. Well, why don't you come on down? here? Let's get up on the mic here. Let's chat. Let's chat. Yeah, let's chat with you, man. Keep me company. Kristen doesn't want to talk to me. So, all right, there we go. All right, yeah. So what's your name?
My name is Doc.
How you doing? All right. So you were talking about you're old school Star Wars, and you were thinking about who your favorite Star Wars character is.
That's a very huge question. I would, as an avid Star Wars fan, I don't want to take up more of your podcast time just answering that. But off the top of my head, I would have to say,
So I have a feeling
not one that was in any of the stories.
So wait. I have a feeling this could turn into a Star Wars show now. Are you a Star Wars guy, a buff, whatever you want to call it? Whatever the term is.
I'm pretty familiar with the lore, I guess you could say.
So, I hate to interrupt, just so you know who this show is. This is our bar prep chef.
Oh, he was.
All of the juicing, everything that he's done.
He was playing. He was on a little down low on this. Oh, okay.
I knew he was going to put me on the spot.
Man, John just outed him on. Let's.
I can't represent the whole time. Now he's the representative for Connor.
All right. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now that we know that you're more than just Star Wars.
I knew he was going to do that eventually.
So what's your story here, right? Yeah.
Beg your pardon?
What's your story? Yeah. What's your
My story here?
Yeah.
I opened the joint along with that gentleman. I opened it. I got hired as the bar chef. I have 10 years behind the stick. I worked at a lot of different bars, a lot of craft places, and picked up a lot of skills along the way, and they hired me to use them here.
Excellent. All right. So so along the way, are you local to the West Palm area?
I am born and raised West Palm.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've seen a lot of changes. You've seen a lot of places come and go, and So what's your thought about the lake, specifically the Lake Worth area here? Right. It's pretty thriving.
I couldn't say any more nice things about Lake Worth. That's why I'm here. I don't live far from here myself.
Okay.
This will be my third time living in Lake Worth, over maybe about 17 years, and every single time it's the best. It's the best. You got everything you need. Really quiet. Peaceful people, nice people, great restaurants.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing. It's like I live more up in North County there, and I miss, you know, Lake Ave. I always mix up Lake Park, but Lake Avenue, right?
Yes.
Lake Avenue, right?
Yeah.
And then or the Ave, the Ave, right down in Delray, right? Because there's all the places and pot again. If you're up for more of that scene, if you're maybe a younger crowd, maybe to be able to go pop here, pop there, or like you said, you can just walk to these places, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Within 3 blocks, you can find just about anything.
All right. So what is your favorite spirits of choice?
I myself am a whiskey guy.
Okay.
I like whatever dress she wears, be it bourbon, Scotch, Tennessee, or anything of the sort.
Okay. All right.
However, working here, I've been working with a lot of really nice rums, and that challenges my, creativity, and that's fun. So
Excellent.
I'm having fun working with a lot of that.
So you're sticking around long enough that you're going to try some of the stuff as well, right?
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I found out as I was leaving my shift that there's going to be a podcast here. What, like right now? I'll be right back.
All right. Say, wait, am I still getting paid? That's what you'll have to ask. Am I still on the clock, right? Am I technically? I don't want to start trouble now, right? But like, wait, there's free booze, right? Yeah, of course. That's always a way to get people to come back and you get them hooked back in, right?
Always important to try new things.
Yeah, for sure. So I know John wanted us to wait for when Joe got a chance. I know Joe's your boss, right? And this is a really cool place, and as you said, right? You're familiar with the area long enough. I think it's a very cool place here. A lot of room here. Obviously, it looks like there's a band set up. I would assume for tomorrow. I think I've already assumed that.
Oh yeah.
And this place is going to be crazy tomorrow. Like I've been saying, and you probably have heard me say, we're tomorrow we're all Mexicans, right? Just as much as March and St. Patty's Day, we're all Irish, right? So
as a Star Wars fan, it is National Star Wars Day, but
that's right.
As a Star Wars fan, I refer to it as the Revenge of the Fifth.
Touche. Yeah, hold on here. Look, I don't have that one. All right, well, I'm going to give you the air horn. You can't hear it, but anyway, they can hear. Well, I saw when I was parking around the corner there that there was something going on in the little park there, and I thought there was some Star Wars or Jedis. So what is the term? There's Trekkies for Star Trek. What is the term for Star Wars fanatics?
I'm sure there's a term. I'm too old to probably know it. Because when I was a original Trekkie,
when you were a Padwin.
When I'm also a Star Trek fan as well. Forgive me for that. As in junior high, they were referred to as Trekkies, and now they're referred to as Trekkers. So I'm not a person in the labels. So I'm just a fan.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan.
Of course, as we all know, there's a distinct. You're either a Trekkie or a Star Wars, but yet, really, there's always, there's both. Many people are blend into the two, right? Yes, without Star Wars, without Star Trek, would you have had Star Wars, right? I guess if you kind of go back in that, and that's why I love going into the music history. Without this person, you may not have had that person, and even though that person has a music that may not have come across, that their fans realize that they were influenced by this person, would blow their mind, right? So
absolutely,
so I always love that because then it blows, like I said, especially for drummers, where all these great rock drummers were all influenced by jazz drummers, and then
absolutely.
they became rock and roll drummers, and most people don't even realize that. And and sometimes I unfortunately have to say is people that drink rum. That are not in the know or enthusiasts, they don't know, and sometimes, unfortunately, they don't care either, right? Which they aren't really enthusiasts then at that point, I consider. But again, this is why we try to educate, expose, opportunity, learn more about other things. I'm sure we'll try some of this stuff, and you're like, man, that would make a great, old fashioned. But we made an old fashioned out of rum, right?
one of the, as a whiskey guy, I've had too many old fashions. I had a tiki expert that I worked with recently made the last really great one that I've had that stood out, and it was with rum.
Okay.
So
So there you go. Right. That's it. Is rum can be replaced with certain things. Rum is such a and again, there was always the Wild West that we always talk about with rum, right? Because there's almost no rules. Whereas in the whiskey or bourbon world, right? Bourbon is specifically you've got to be this. Scotch, you have to be this. Canadian whiskey, you got to be that. Champagne, But when it comes to rum, it's like, whatever, whatever it is, and, as long as it is foundation by certain things, right? But anyway, yeah. So have heard stories, and I'm sure a lot of hardcore bourbon drinkers are blown away and in totally denial that if they're giving a sample of rum, they swear it's bourbon. And again,
I believe it. I believe it.
I now, in fairness, I get the fact because most of the stuff is aged in ex-bourbon barrels, right? Again, we can't do anything more with those bourbon barrels once they've been used one time, and they can't be, so forth. So yeah, so a lot of these bourbon barrels get used in other things. But it's like even crazy is some of the rum brands that are out there, they're aging their stuff in tequila barrels or agave barrels, and it's like
Agave, tequila, sherry casks, like
yeah,
literally, they're really trying to get more creative now away from the traditional oaks.
Right,
So,
right.
Which is good. We're
Right.
finding new things, and yeah, people are trying new things.
right. And sometimes I do go through that and say, is that really should it be pure that way or not? But again, it's at the end of the day, if it is made from, sugar cane, molasses, or all of those basic ingredients, then yes, what you do with it after the finishing, as long as you're not putting anything after. Again, what's become big is the transparency. Right, we're okay if you're making a product, and if you're putting something in the back end, just let us know. We're okay with that. But sometimes some brands, some companies, etc., are a little hesitant of sharing that little secret, right? Or I don't want to say secret, but
This proprietary blend of spices goes back to my grandfather, and I'm not giving it up. I don't care what's in the contract.
that's like any of the products here that that I brought with me here tonight to try. They've all been podcast guests. They've all talked about their story, their rum story, how they got into it, why they got into it, and it's always a great story to say everyone has a rum story, and everyone, or if they're a distiller, everybody had an idea about wanting to start a rum. Well, all of them, right? Why did they start a rum brand, right? Some of them are because they were sitting on the beach and were like, it'd be really cool to have a rum company, and then some of them realized, shit, this is a lot of work, It was cool, sounded cool, but but they got into it. Again, they're passionate about it. And again, these brands here are definitely all into wanting to be their product and their brands, and this is great. Again, more than 50% of the market, I've already said this earlier, is owned and controlled by Bacardi and Captain Morgan of the rum brand.
I believe it.
Right. What does everyone push? Is those two big ones, and yeah. So all these guys are, hey, they're not competing against each other. They're competing against the chipping away at the bigger piece of it, right? So, but yeah. So let's see if I know John's chatting away there. He's trying to pick up chicks. Is that the job of a bartender? Is also to make drinks, smile, and pick up chicks?
Oh, no.
No?
We just have to appear available at all times.
Oh, I like that, appear available. So this is kind of like being in a boy band, right?
Pretty much.
You have to appear.
You are single to the rest of the world.
Right, the Jonas Brothers. We appear to be virgins, but
Precisely.
so all right. So let's see if we can get some drinks sent down our way. So what do we got, John? What do we got? What do we got here? All right, so we're gonna do a Grogan shot, Baby Yoda shot. I take that.
Why
as,
not?
He says, why not?
This is the way.
Why not?
This is the way.
Do it. No, try. I do a terrible Yoda, so I'm not even gonna try or do or one or the other here. So, but So yeah, I appreciate all for tuning in here tonight. We're Hannah here again down at Cana Bar and Grill here. It's in Lake Worth. It's just a little south of West Palm Beach. It's got a cool little scene here in the downtown area here. Stop in here, you get something to eat here. No offense, but I'm sure you're probably not the right person to ask the question, but I'll ask it anyway. The food, right? Since you're more of the bar guy, what's your thoughts on the food? Have you eaten the food? Yeah.
The food is phenomenal.
There you go. Right. So.
I mean, obviously, I'm a bit biased, but I've eaten most places around Lake Worth, and this place is not only new, is absolutely exceptional.
Excellent.
I'm now just blindfolding myself and picking something on the menu. I was stuck on a couple dishes for too long. I've yet to have the burger, and they both kicked me for it.
Oh, I saw the people down here at the end of the bar. They had the burger, and I was like, wow, that looked pretty good. So here comes yeah, there you go. So Joe's all right. So here we go here. So we're gonna see what kind of concoction do we have here. All right, so
Coconut rum and melon liqueur shot.
It's as cute as Grogu.
So, all right, so there you go there. It looks like Baby Yoda, right? Again, I didn't even know that I don't follow enough Star Wars, the Mandalorian series enough. I try to watch the Obi-Wan series. There's just too much.
It's a lot.
There's too much to follow, so there's too many Star Wars series. There's too many friggin' Marvel now. Disney is just milking the shit out of that cow. I don't blame them. But, I'll ask you, since you're probably also a Marvel guy, too.
Of course.
Are you excited? Are you excited about tomorrow?
I'm a little excited.
Are you going to get it all marked up and go watch Avengers shit? Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm excited, but no, I'm not that. I'm not that kind of fan. I'm on the wrong side of 30. I wear this to go to my Marvel movies, and I never go on opening day. That being said, I'm also not a huge fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, but all the films have been very entertaining so far. So
I guess I was watching last night. They said that they were ending the series, and I'm like, or that the Guardians of the Galaxy's movies, and I'm like, so I guess that's done. Are they done with the storyline and how crazy they've got? And I now even see I'm nerding out too, right? Is DC all right? Is how DC's now trying to get into with the Flash and trying to bring back people. I'm like, are they just ripping off the Spider-Man series?
Well, no. The movie that's coming out with the Flash is actually the Flash's one of his most famous stories, more or less. They made a film. Long story short, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. But
I think I hit him on the right topic to talk about. I can get him out of his shell a little bit.
I promise this isn't going to take long. Okay. Flash's most famous storyline came out in the early 80s, late 80s, the Flashpoint Paradox. Basically, this is his big origin story and how he basically reset all of DC's comic books so they had so many comic books, they needed to consolidate all these universes into one, so they had this one pivotal character make one moral decision that affected the entire multiverse, and the effects and hilarity that ensues from that. That's basically what this film is going to be.
Okay.
I'm happy it's even coming out with Ezra Miller, the lead's shenanigans. If those of you out there know, and I don't have to get into that. But
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm actually excited for this because my Batman will be in this film.
I know. That was, I saw. Let's just say we'll just out who he's talking about was Michael Keaton, right? And I think it's like, has that become the new thing? Man, we've really gotten crazy on this happy hour here. Again, this is the whole point of happy hour. Sitting at a bar, talk about different things. You meet somebody, you have a drink, you start having a conversation, and you go down a rabbit hole, and then 5 hours later, and shit faced, you're arguing over who's stronger. Superman or Thor or the Hulk, right? So is it like it's almost like very similarly like the nostalgia aspect? Do you think they've written now? Again, I'm in my late 40s, so is there a nostalgia aspect that's been going on in movies and over the last probably 4 or 5 years to try to bring some of the 80s. We're bringing the 80s back, right?
The last 4 or 5 years. Big surprise. I'm also a film nerd. I'll say the last 20, several. Most of Hollywood is rehashing my entire childhood in the 80s.
Yeah, watching a Transformers movie, right? That's
Yeah.
a whole nother.
That was
Bumblebee, or the major was Captain Marvel. Yeah, we're all flashback Radio Shack and Blockbuster. Hello, right? And all the '90s references and things like that, right? So,
absolutely.
but yeah, that's I got that where it was like we did the Spider-Man movie where we brought back 2 other Spider-Mans at the same time, right? Tobey Maguire is, I guess, my Spider-Man, I guess, right? Not Andrew Garcia, right? Because who the hell, he was in one movie.
Garfield.
Garfield, yeah. Andrew Garcia. I'm thinking of the wrong guy. You guys are leaving? We didn't get you on.
Podcast. I don't want to be on the
Yeah.
TV.
Oh, well, here. We'll
That's
give
not the TV. It's
Yeah.
the internet. It's worse.
Yeah. There, you got a microphone at least. You can talk in a microphone off camera. Did you subscribe? Kristen, did you subscribe?
I can't hear though what you're saying.
Did you subscribe?
I don't know. I haven't even done anything.
All right. Drums and Rums. Is that simple? Search Google OnlyFans.
I'm gonna get in touch. I want to be on a podcast.
Sure enough.
Are you on
Yeah.
yours?
No, I'm not. We're all the time.
Thank you.
You got it, guys. The interesting people meet. These are the people in your neighborhood. In the neighborhood. So they're not on camera, so I can talk about them. So anyway, so yeah. So I felt like it was like this is going to be a kind of a another version of the recent Spider-Man movie.
More or less. Like I said, both of the comic book giants in the 90s, they had a lot of issues, to say the least. So they had way too many stories. They both needed to consolidate them, and they ripped off each other all the time. So it's an easy way to cut the fat, as they say in the business.
So what does your comic book collection look like?
Oh, it's non-existent. Like I said, I'm on the wrong side of 30. It's gone now. It's long gone. Like my youth and my faith.
But you had one. That's the key part, right? You had one.
I had a very modest one. I mostly went to my friends who had way more impressive collections, and those were some of the best memories I had, just reading good stories.
And again, it's the irony of, is it still a lost art of the actual comic book paper for kids or people to read? And again, now because of the internet, and we were just watching Captain America the other night. Was again how people may see this in the movie and rehash it, but that's exactly what's